Hi, everyone. This is Mary Kurek with Frontrunners Innovate, and I have just a wonderful guest with us today, and this is Divyanshi Mehta. And so Divyanshi is the State General Secretary for the National Youth Council of India, and she has multiple titles. We'll investigate a little bit of all of those things, but also with the Advisory Council on Anti-Sexual Harassment National Council. She is an analyst by profession. And so we'll find out a little bit more about all this. But let me also bring to your attention Chaitali Sinha. And Chaitali is one of our daughter's global mentees and just a fabulous young lady in India who we wanted to connect with Divyanshi while we're having this conversation. She is co-hosting with me today. So welcome, Chaitali. Thank you for being available to us. And I know you're in mid exams right now. So I know this is a lot for you, but we really appreciate that. And I know that you and Divyanshi will kind of relate on some of the youth subject matter that's going on here. And so that's important for us. So Divyanshi, let's start with you. Let's find out a little bit about your background first, and then we'll kind of talk about what you're doing now.
Yeah, thank you so much, first of all, for letting me here and speak about myself and the work I'm doing. So about myself, I was raised and born completely away from my parents since the age of 6. And that kind of, derived in me something which I can call an exposure to the outer world all by myself, which had, made me explore it in a very unique and in a very independent way. I can say that.
Yeah.
So because no parents and no guidance along by my side, it was all by myself all along. And when I was a kid, I used to wonder on so many things like, if there is something wrong happening around me, or something immoral, we can call it, or some ailments of the society that we live in. I used to wonder that why don't people curate it? Why don't people make it right? Or why don't they channelize it in a proper manner? And all of that stuff, it came to my mind always. But I used to be a kid, and there was I was in a boarding school. So there were kind of restrictions, and also being a girl child, that was altogether a new challenge. Here, especially in India, it's sad, but it is true, very, very true here. I'm sure Chaitali could relate with me on this one. And then there were a lot of things that I saw people doing crazy things, like telling their girl childs to not go out, and even if they would engage themselves in some affairs, like girlfriend boyfriend, any love affair or anything, they always used to tell the girl or the female to step back, or they used to bound her. There was no sign of any teachings or any lessons to the males. I used to wonder a lot, why only us? And for that matter, if you talk about eve teasing, I used to see that a lot too. And it was us who were told to you stay indoors. If you won't get out, nobody will happen to harass you or molest you. So that was kind of strange to me. Okay, we will stay indoors, but you should tell your son also to behave a little. And probably if you would have given this learning to him at a very early age, he wouldn't have been on this place, and probably I could also roam free. So yeah, these were little things while growing up, which I saw. And there was one more important thing which I saw here. It was a little personal also, and it was around me also. That was the thing with the parenting here. So here, parents, they want to control their children's lives. So that was, so maybe we can call that I was a rebel from a very young age. So I couldn't just, get it that where is this coming from? It's okay. Yeah, I understand they love us. We love them too. Obviously, that's a fact, which is inevitable at all. So, but then out of love, you can't, kind of that. I would call that also as a harassment, because while growing up, it's not that some beating up or some sexual harassment can only give you the traumas. It is that little thing, every bit of that little things which nourishes your minds and brains, uh, which while growing up will turn into a personality. That's what I believe. And it happened to me as well. And I can see other people around me too. So, so that we can relate to mental health and parenting altogether. So probably the things which I faced, it kind of pushed me to help people around, that at least the mistakes or the blunders which I have made trying to curate all these things, at least they shouldn't be in that place. They should know. And if I would if I would have been, having an external help, I would be a lucky one too. And the things would have been more different and much better. So this is why I feel the most, need of it, that if I couldn't have it, so let's let the other people have it with me. At least if we have some external help, so there are a lot of things, which turn better and better. So this was a little story
Your
behind
foundation.
my,
Yeah,
yeah,
this is your
it was
foundation.
yes, yes, that's correct. This was the foundation. I can go on and on, but we are less with time here.
This is what promotes
Uh,
a lot of people into doing the kind of impact work that they do. It's their personal backgrounds and experiences that either they want to correct or they want to take it forward and make it better. And I think you've just given a good example of what happens when somebody gets put in a place, in a box, and they have a spirit and an anointing, if you will, that pushes them outside of that box and wants to make things better for the other people around. And you've done a good job of that. So, tell us about the genesis, the beginning of the National Youth Council of India and your involvement with it.
yeah. Okay, so this council, I will just briefly tell about the agenda of this council first. It is like this is a purely and completely youth-based and youth-oriented organization. It was founded in the year 2013 in the South India, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, state of India, and then 3 years back, it just went ahead with the expansion of it in all the other states in India as well. So here with this platform, the basic idea of channelizing the youth to curate the ailments of the society, that was what kind of attracted me towards this organization, because it was purely all the volunteers. Nobody, see, in be it any profession, most of the people, they look for experience. If you're not experienced, then you don't really know well. That's how it works. And so but here it was a little different, which probably was my catching point for it. So this was the reason why I decided to move in. And when I joined this organization, I joined it as a district president. And I saw around, I'll be very, transparent here. It's not about, even if I take names or something, it's a very, bitter truth that people, in our society, or in the world, we live in, people don't really want to help if it is no help to them.
Mhm.
That's how the human, psychology works,
What's in it for
and
me?
that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fair enough, you know. But it should be. That's what I believe, that it should be up to some extent, because we live in this society, and this society has to give in a lot to us. So it's not about the fundamental duties, it's not about the moral duties. It's just the basic, human instinct that we should give it back, because we form the society. What we give in will come back to us.
Mhm.
What we form today will, probably impact our next generations, or probably our younger ones, the siblings that we, really care for, and a lot more. So, National Youth Council of India, it was, I guess, the month of May 2020. And to be honest, I joined it. I was into, student politics when I was in my college, which was Punjab University, Chandigarh. And but that time, politics is a little dirty world, and all of us here know about it. Yeah, I mean, they have their own ways to mend it, and that's okay. It's just that I went into it. I was joint secretary for some political party there. Here I can't mention the name. So then, there was these little things which kind of started bothering me. And so I took the decision that, if I want to help people, there are a lot of other things which, can come to me. And but yes, not to forget, this was the first platform that, gave me opportunities to engage with NGOs and the local communities. Because if when you are into something like this, obviously you'll build a great, network around you.
Yeah.
So I just completed my tenure as my designation, and post that I never thought to, continue with that. And because the purpose I was there into this pool of, politics or social service was obviously fulfilled by other platforms too, and in a much, healthier way, I can call it that way. So yeah, so that was the beginning of my journey. And last year when I come across this platform, see, mostly what happens is the NGOs we have here, they almost everywhere, all around the world, they kind of work in a hierarchy, and patriarchy, obviously, not to forget about that too. So so there's always like the lowest level of volunteers, they wouldn't even know what the organization is doing, or what are they up to. They'll just be assigned by some tasks, that, we need this video, you just edit it, or we need this design poster to go out, you just design it, or we need you to, anchor some event or moderate some event, you just do it. So it never feel that belongingness to the cause we are, connected to. So this was something I didn't find here. It was all of it as a, liberating one.
Mhm.
No matter how lowest your designation is, you are absolutely free here to, uh, you know carry forward your ideas or anything you see around you. And the special thing about this organization one more special thing about this organization is that it doesn't have just one topic to focus on. We have it all. Whatever we see, if you don't see it right, you can go ahead with that. And obviously individually we can do that too. But when you have a platform, then it pushes you to another level, and it brings you a lot more audiences, it brings you resources, and it brings you a lot of other things which are probably required to target a mass audience, which is far more better to solve your cause or the thing which you want to work upon. And this was the case with me too. I just wanted myself to be heard to most of the people I can. Individually, obviously, I was working sometimes with this organization, sometimes with that, and there were little projects. But now I had that power with me to mold it accordingly. And because when you work in a group, there is always a difference of opinions, there's always a different of motives, also difference of motives, because some people I'll be very honest here, some people just work in the social service sector just to come into the highlight or the limelights, that just for the sake of it, to be very honest. And I don't mind doing that too, but it should but that is a thing which is really secondary to me. The priority should be the reason which we are here for. Rest of the things, it could be professional growth, personal growth, anything. Like I said, personal benefits can be entertained and must be entertained. That's no problem at all, it's fair enough.
Divyanshi, I'd love for you to share, I'd love for you to share an example of something that you brought forward that you feel like that you've been able to move to the forefront through the organization. And then I'm sure Chaitali might have some questions about the different programs or anything else that's going on with it, with what you're doing. But if you give us an example of what you feel like you've been able to bring forward.
Yeah, sure. So like I told you, the mental health, which is really important these days, with our fast-paced lives and all the stress, all of we are into. So this was something which I would say that I, really could work upon all this while. Obviously, there were, more projects too. But this was something I can say that I actually, made a difference about. I have laid many, campaigns and workshops for yoga and spirituality, if I may talk about it, meditations. I have, and you won't believe, I had to really, push and force people to, I had to, convince them to take out just 10 minutes for 2 days. You see it for yourself if it works for you, and just give me 2 days and 10 minutes each. So I had to do it like that, moreover, because here, people, they don't, they believe that spirituality, meditations, mostly if I talk about people of my age, they believe that these things are just for people of the age above 50 or 60, or, when they just retire from all their personal responsibilities.
Oh my gosh.
So
how wrong that is.
That's a myth.
How wrong that is. Yeah.
And but I'm really glad to see it around me now. It's been a year since I'm working on this.
Wow.
So now that I see, people are more aware about it, and this is just the foundation. What I believe is, when you are sorted here, when you are clear with your minds, you are relaxed with your minds, then you can have a far better life and a far better, mental approach.
Exactly. Exactly. I think probably some of the best ideas I've ever had is when I slowed down and took a beach walk and just kind of let my mind go. And then it gives space, for these new ideas and fresh approaches to kind of come in, and really exciting stuff too. Not just, it gives you a bigger, the more space you have there, the bigger the ideas and the bigger the approaches seem to settle in. And your mind couldn't possibly comprehend that if it's so busy doing the day's task, So I'm going to let Chaitali kind of weigh in and have some comments and questions. So Chaitali, the floor is yours.
As you said, that you really have to convince people. So I just wanted to ask that how difficult it was to convince the public, because many a times, even if we have to convince public about anything, it's really difficult. So how you convinced people about how you related this mental health, yoga, and how you helped people with breaking that thing that I don't want to attend. So how you convince people?
Yeah. So, like you said, Chaitali, and thank you so much for this question. It's a really good one. As you said, it was really difficult because people wouldn't, want to come. They just, and we can't force anyone to attend something. So the trick which I, tried at the most was word of mouth. I just started it with two of my friends. And then, if they can, communicate, and they were definitely I was confident about it, that they were definitely going to speak about it to their friends or their colleagues or their parents, family, at least not two of them, at least one of them. So that was my strategy to build more audiences and more people to make the use of it, most of it. And by saying about the mental health workshops, it all, comes in a loop together. It doesn't work that if you just go on with meditations and just the yoga. There are a lot of other sessions which I, organized, which were the counseling sessions, which mostly, focused on parenting and relationships. So that was not difficult at all. People to get on it, it was not difficult at all, because here in these times, everybody of us here know that people are actually traumatized, or people are actually affected by these two things at the most: the parenting, the family nuisance, or the relationships, love relationships, or we can say love affairs, the breakups, the heartbreaks. That is the most painful thing one can go through, these two things. So I just focused on those things, and it automatically helped me to build audience. But yes, with the yoga and the meditation, it was difficult. So I just managed to gradually, build it up through word of mouth. And yes, not to forget, there were a lot of marketing and promotion things also to do with it. My team was always there on it with me.
Amazing.
Meeting chal rahi hai meri.
That's great. Thank you for that. I think about, what you were saying, before we got on the air, Divyanshi, about, people wanting something for, in exchange. If you want something from them, they want something back. And we were talking about the volunteers that you needed for an upcoming event. Why don't you share about what you're looking for? And then I think we need to talk about the fact that there's such a thing as service, and also building social capital. A lot of times people don't get the fact that it's not, you don't have to get paid for every single thing you do, but everything you do in service with the right heart is a building block for you and opens up doors and opportunities like you wouldn't believe. I know we run into that in some other countries, and especially third world countries where there are issues with, poverty and things like that, that the first thing on their minds is how much am I going to get paid? Not everybody feels that way. I've found lots of beautiful hearts out there, but there are a lot of people who just, that's what they're groomed to think. That's what they're bred and raised to think, that they have to get paid for every single thing. In this world, there's going to be a lot of things asked of you that you're not going to get a dime for. And, it's, the payback is sometimes down the road that you'll get for that. So first of all, tell us what the opportunity is so that we can share that with everybody, and then what the expectations are for that.
Yeah. So basically, what we are trying to form here is a National Event Management Committee. And as the name, sounds like, event management is probably what core NGO is about. We have to create events can include campaigns, and it can include webinars. It can include little awareness campaigns, or we can call it little awareness workshops.
Mm-hmm.
So we need people to work at the back end for it. Obviously we have a volunteer, so we need some expertise, or students can also, give it in fact, I prefer students more, because they are
I saw that on your
yeah.
Yeah.
Because once you get into a profession, it's all about money then.
Mm-hmm.
When you're a student, there are still something there purely at your brain or in your heart, that that you can and the enthusiasm, or that pure thing which you have with students, that really helps.
Yeah.
The dedication, the energy, right?
So the volunteers, how
So
old do they need to be, and where do they need to be from? I mean, is there a geographic region?
They can no. They can be totally from any part of the world. We don't need any degrees or certifications with them. All we need is that they should be willing to work, and with the dedication. Obviously, some skill set does matter, but I mean, unlike the professional institutions, we're not looking here for some employees.
Mm-hmm.
We are purely looking for some volunteers who can just spare a little of their time with us in managing all the things, like marketing, and then designs. Designs, we can, if I have to be specific, it can be just for the flexes, the posters,
Mm-hmm.
and some brochures,
Okay.
And apart from that, some communications. People are into mass communications. Anyone can be preferred. It's just about the skill set. There's just going to be a short interview, and that's all.
So how do they get involved?
And
did you give us a link for an application process on LinkedIn? Is that what I saw, or where do they go? Where do people go?
Yes, they can directly DM to me. Okay. And I was just about to launch an application form today. Okay. So probably they can just fill up the form, and we can contact them. Okay. It was just the marketing strategy, All
righty. So what we'll do, if you're watching this on YouTube, everyone, go to www.frontrunnersinnovate.com, where on the page that we have this interview, we'll put the links to everything that Divyanshi shares with us. So if there is an application there, that she has, we'll have the direct link to it if she provides that for us, and I think she will. So, and all the other ways that you can communicate with her through website and what have you. So I'm going to defer back to Chaitali. Chaitali, any questions about what's going on now or in the future with the organization, or questions that of a personal nature that you want to ask about Divyanshi's background? Anything?
Yes, please.
No.
No question?
I don't have any questions.
Okay. Divyanshi, talk to us about what do you see in the future? Vision for the organization, vision for yourself in the future, and the types of people you might need to help you expand what you're doing.
Yeah. So if I talk about the vision for the future in terms of this organization as well as myself, it would be purely, bringing people to spirituality. One, that is on the top of the priority right now for me, because I believe that's kind of solves a lot of problems altogether. So it's a one in all. And the second thing, obviously, which go along with this is the mental health, the awareness, and the stigma what people have. When people are maybe they think that they are under something is not wrong, right with them, they don't easily open up about that.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the foremost, and that is the basic thing which we need to break first.
Mm-hmm.
And rest of the things they'll automatically follow. And the other thing which is very much important here and all around the world is that drug addiction, obviously the illegal ones, cocaine, heroin, and cannabis is also one amongst the kinds, but I wouldn't mention here because it's legalized in some part of the world. So, but these chemical drugs, they are, actually, they stop the natural flow of your brain.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, there are a lot of things. Obviously, everybody of us know about it, that they flow the natural process of the brain, obviously, and it harms the body, physical body, to a very large extent.
No.
Because our bodies, they are not made for these chemical substances.
Right.
So yeah, that is the third important thing. And obviously, apart from this, all the little things which we can work upon are always there. These are the three major goals.
When you think about people that might be useful to you in the future, do you think about partners or collaborators from anywhere in the world for the organization itself, or give me an idea?
Yes. So as per my belief, it doesn't matter where are you from or what you really want. There should be just one thing in common, which I seek on behalf of my organization too. Just the initiative, just the what can we call it? Just the idea of stepping a better world or making the world a better place.
Uh-huh.
That is more than enough, and obviously then the time and dedication to spare for it. This is one thing which we need should be in common. Rest of the things can still be pardoned or still be looked into.
Mm-hmm.
They are secondary, but this is the most important thing. We should just have share the same ideology, which is just to make this place or society a better one.
Well said. Well said.
Uh-huh.
This is great. I'm going to ask you to stay on for a minute longer after we come off of record, but I just want to say thank you to everybody who popped in. Thank you, Chaitali, for joining me today. And if there are any other communications that you'll have that you want to have with Divyanshi, you've got her email address or her contact information, I believe. But I can so see Chaitali is an artist as well as a poet, and has a design sort of mindset. And given the fact that she has the same mindset about mental wellness and spirituality, because one of the poems that she did on, I think it was International Yoga Day, had all these wonderful drawings of postures. I'm a yoga practitioner myself, and I learned some of the background from her on why these postures were included in yoga. I'm one of those hard learners. I took beginning yoga 3 times. You think I could teach it by now. But to me, it's not so much about perfecting postures as it is that mental health, that mental release, and just feeling more comfortable in my own body. So thank you for all that you're doing for everyone, not just youth, Divyanshi, but everyone, and how you want to make the world a better place through this sort of practice and what the main goal is. I've got some people I want to bring your way. And again, Chaitali, thank you. If you guys want to stay on, everyone else, remember, head over to www.frontrunnersinnovate.com. You'll see the full interview. You'll have some links. Maybe we can get a little bio from you, Divyanshi, so because she is a speaker, so that we can make sure that you know how to reach her if you want her to speak. So thank you very much. And bye, everybody. Say goodbye, everybody. All right. Bye-bye.